Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network, and today is Friday, April 29th, 2022. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a great day. It's coming up on a solar eclipse new moon in the sign of Taurus. The second new moon in the month of April. I guess that makes it a blue moon, but usually we think of those as being full moons, but we'll call it a blue new moon. Great time to plant a garden because Taurus is an earth sign and it's spring and starting to warm up a little bit, not a lot where I am. Sun's warm, wind is like it's coming off an iceberg or something. Today, the moon has been in Aries, and I'm just checking my calendar. Pluto went retrograde today. I'm going to intuit how that's going to affect us, since I'm not technically an astrologer. I do a lot of intuitive astrology. Pluto going retrograde, I would say things that have been broken apart. This is just off the cuff. Things that have been broken apart and highlighted, we're gonna review. So that's personal and probably on the political front too. In the world front. So things that have been kind of blown apart like Pluto does, I used to call it the cosmic Drano. Pluto is like the cosmic Drano. So whatever's draining, you're gonna look at it again. Oh, you can look at that a number of different ways, I suppose. And then so the new moon in the sign of Taurus and the solar eclipse, which is happening Eastern time, late afternoon. I'm not sure if that calendar is Eastern time, but it says 4:30 p.m. It's the Llewellyn Witches calendar that I'm always looking over there on my wall. So, yes, I love old-fashioned calendars. Lots going on. I want to mention that on my live the other night, Wednesday night, I started with looking at Kevin McCarthy and the people that after the insurrection, the Republicans, that sounded like that was it, that Donald Trump was done. Kevin McCarthy was going to ask him to resign. They were talking about it. They said this is unacceptable. We can't continue like this. We need to shut up Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, it was really, and Mo Brooks and Gomer, Kevin McCarthy was talking about how they had to, take this insurrection seriously. And then there was the flipperoo that happened after he went down to Mar-a-Lago. So they all changed their tune after that. Suddenly it was all good. Suddenly it was like, oh, it was just a tourist visit. Oh, what insurrection, would Mike Pence say? It was just another day in January. Please. And so I did a reading on it Wednesday night, and I got kind of a little bit of a scoop that sounded like that they did it because Kevin McCarthy and Trump had a discussion about how Kevin McCarthy could win, become Speaker of the House. This is the conversation that I kind of interpreted through my psychic reading, that they had a conversation about how Trump was going to help Kevin McCarthy become Speaker of the House. That's the conversation that I felt was going on. And that Trump promised that he would give him like the media support, which made my sort of red flags go up about Elon Musk having bought Twitter. So, I mean, I'm not doing conspiracy. I'm just putting puzzle pieces together, as I was saying the other night. And then the more that comes out, the more of the story of what actually, more of the conversation kind of comes to my mind. And it feels as if, because I know, and I spoke about it before, that the Republicans are planning to steal the 2024 election. They'll do what they can this year for the midterms. So the Republicans are planning to steal the 2024 election, which I know, but then I got it confirmed on MSNBC tonight on Joy Reid's show, I have the name of the conservative judge that literally said the plans are in place for the Republicans. I will read it to you. Republicans plan to steal the 2024 election. A conservative judge named Michael Luttig, Luttig, a very, very conservative judge. I don't know what court he sits on. So I just caught this in passing, and it was a bigger puzzle piece. So what the people that went along with the big lie, that agreed to go along with the big lie of Trump having, won because there was all this voter fraud, the big lie was kept up by the Republicans because it was promised to them that they have it figured out already how to steal the election in 2024. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm glad that I live in the United States of America and I can tell you my psychic impressions. It's already planned. The GOP has already planned how they will steal the election in 2024. We're going to do a reading about this. I'm telling you, I told you that it would make your hair curl. Let's use this deck. It's, it's almost like a coloring book, right? It's almost like a coloring book. Remember your coloring books when you were a kid? A lot of people still do coloring books, the adult coloring books, but really it's just because you just want to be a child and have permission, so they call them adult coloring books now. But it's a picture, and you fill in the colors. That's what it's like. The colors are being filled in. The picture is becoming more detailed and more colorful, definitely more colorful, and more complete, and easier to see. That a conservative judge gave us the warning that we have heard from different places, but to actually know that they have a plan in place to steal the 2024 election is a big freaking deal. And we have got to stay on top of this and put the pressure on that this is widely known, and that people that have followed Trump and that back him find out somehow that they have been duped, they have been conned, they have been scammed, they have been brainwashed, and they have been under mind control. Just like the Russian people that think that the attack on Ukraine is military exercises and that it's a good thing. It's the same. The brainwashing. I'm picking 3 cards to see how it's going to go. And they have it all sorted out. They've figured out what the loopholes are, what the holes are in our democracy, the legal system, how they can circumvent this and circumvent that, and there's this law, but then we can kind of change it around, or just like, for instance, a Texas abortion ban, that people can report their person that they know is planning to get an abortion. They can put a bounty on them, and the way that these Republicans have rigged the system so that public citizens can make your life hell. For instance, transgender kids that have that are in school, and if somebody reports that the parents are helping their child and having a surgical procedure or whatever, they have to move out of their state because of the threat that they will be fined, definitely harassed, and in some states like Texas, they're pushing for prison time. This is the United States of America. So they planned it all out so that they could weave in and out and, you know, find ways to have citizens be police, to work like police. Like they did with fugitive slaves. I'm pausing because I'm soaking it all in. I'm glad we're in this together. I'm glad you're with me and we're in this together. As I meet more and more of you that have booked readings and such, and we have a pendulum class tomorrow, and then the following Saturday and the following Saturday, the 7th and the 14th. And I am planning more classes too. As I'm getting to know more of you and in the comments and Grassroots of Democracy, thank you. I'm really starting to feel more like we're all in this together. Like it's an actual thing that we're in this together, and we don't know. And I like to think whether we will be the energy that creates a tipping point. You know, that makes the tipping point happen. So I'm glad we're here together, and I appreciate you guys. And I just wanted you to feel the love. All right, so the Two of Swords is we're in a place with the GOP that we are kind of painted into a corner, kind of stuck. But not forever. We're going to be working really hard. And I say we because we can't wait on our senators and congresspeople and representatives. We can't just wait on them. We are the Democrats. I was saying the other night how it makes me crazy that, you know, I hear people going, well, the Democrats need to do this, the Democrats need to do that. No, we're American citizens. We need to put the pressure on the people that are holding those seats to do what needs to be done. So this is the Two of Swords, which is about, well, we're right now, April 29th, all this stuff, plus the January 6th committee findings and hearings that are happening in June, all this is coming out, and we're at this point right now, like, what do? We haven't quite figured out what to do yet as a nation that needs to save democracy. I mean, we're figuring it out a little bit at a time, all the different organizations that are working so hard to save our democracy. But right now, we're just kind of like, uh-oh, what do we do with this, right? Collectively, as a collective. There are a lot of people in the legal system that are working. Jamie Raskin pops into my mind when I look at this card, that are really seriously getting down to work. We have to help them. We have to help them. So there's a lot of work being done to get out of this stalemate place. But they've got us trapped. The Republicans have us trapped. I'm not saying for forever. I'm saying just for right now. And thank your lucky stars that we know about that conservative judge, and it was made public. It was published that he said, in no uncertain terms, the GOP is planning to steal the election in 2024. They have a plan. So if a Democrat wins, they cannot take office. I know. I understand how you feel. This is interesting because it really looks like, even though it's a page, it reminds me of women, and I really feel like these abortion bans that are going into effect. Oklahoma was a place that women in Texas were going for their women's health care. And now they have, their governor, he's a beaut. Still, what's his last name? Sills or something like that. Anyway, hang on a sec. It's bad, but we will not be defeated. We won't be. But it is up to each and every one of us. Grassroots of Democracy at gmail.com. On Saturdays we do email-a-thons. For the next 3 Saturdays it's going to be 1 hour instead of 90 minutes. But anyway, please join us. just send an email, grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com, and type I in the subject line. And if you're already a member, can you please get other people involved? We don't want to be looking at some dire circumstance and go, oh man, I guess we should have probably done something as individuals, you know? Let's see. There, McCarthy versus Cawthorne, I wrote here. Because Madison Cawthorne made that statement, maybe it hit too close to home, who knows, about the Republicans inviting him to cocaine parties where they were having sex orgies. That was, I guess, a bridge too far for McCarthy. That did it? It's like, really? That's what it took? The guys just said the Cawthorne is low-hanging fruit, as is Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert. I feel like those three especially, be prepared for this. The Republicans are going to use them as, they're going to be opportunists. They're going to use Cawthorne, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Boebert especially, not just those three, or maybe just those three, to make it look, they're conniving little, weasels, to make it look like the Republicans have a conscience. That's what they're going to do. Is that accurate? Yeah, they're already doing that. So to put on, what a bunch of shysters, I'm telling you what. To put on like this air of like, well, Madison Cawthorne said, he said a lie. And he said a lie about Republicans having sex orgies, and we don't have sex orgies because we're all about God and we're Christians. And so we can't have Madison Cawthorne anymore. So we're going to reprimand him, and let's see if they're going to make him lose his seat. I'm telling you, it's all for show to pretend they have ethics and morals. They're not going to make him lose his seat. Are they going to? I know that the Free Speech for People attempted to get him off the ballot and didn't succeed. I don't know what power that Kevin McCarthy has to do that. Will they get him off the ballot? They'll get him off the ballot. Yeah, so it looks like Cawthorne has got it coming to him, and he's a very disturbed individual anyway, so, that's not a bad thing, but, there's so many bad apples that I have to look at what that race, who would be in that race in North Carolina, but it doesn't mean he's going to be replaced by somebody with ethics and morals, because those seem to be very scarce in the Republican Party, if non-existent. Case in point. Biden is wanting to, and I actually was saying this to people a year or two ago that were concerned about student loan debt, that I was saying, don't worry, hang in there. And this is when Trump was president. I felt that there would be a time that student loan debt would be forgiven, and to not stress your head out over it. And so Joe Biden is working hard to eliminate student loan debt. And then Mitt Romney has a problem with it. Just speaking of Republicans. So you'd think of all the Republicans, somebody like Romney would have maybe just a little smidgen of a moral code of ethics, just a smidgen, relatively. And he gets out there and he tweets that, this is a bad idea. And I'm sorry, but to say, oh, you're going to take their car loans away and you're going to take their mortgage payments away, to say that was so inappropriate and so wrong. The reason we're in the place that we are in this country is because we don't get an education, and civics classes are non-existent. Try to figure out how democracy works. You really have to get down and study. Next time I'll show you a book that was given to me. I don't know if there's a Democracy for Dummies. I don't have a book called Democracy for Dummies. I don't know if there is one. Remember those books? They were trending for a long time. All right, so, but I do have one that I'll show it to you next time. So we're going to look at Madison Cawthorne, what's going to happen to him. I mean, I just did the pendulum about it. I think he's going to be taken off the ballot. Justice. This is Cawthorne. The Justice card. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. I think he did some illegal trading. This is monetary. This isn't about him taking loaded guns onto an airplane. You try that and see if you get away with it. Oh, the Page of Pentacles again. That's okay. That's interesting. This is about. I don't know why the Page of Pentacles is, to me, it's a woman tonight. This is about females that are, he's got a lot of lawsuits. Madison Cawthorne is in a lot of trouble. He's got lawsuits coming at him. The justice system is what's going to take him down. I think, kind of like Trump, I think that, I mean, just in this regard, I think that Madison Cawthorne is going to be so wrapped up in legal issues, it would be hard for him to run anyway. But I do see him taken off the ballot. I don't think he's going to be on the ballot. Whenever their election is. Yeah, see, I have to look that up too. It's hard to keep track of everything. I do my best, and I welcome your information. Sometimes you guys have more information and you let me know. I'm not sure when the election is in North Carolina, that Madison Cawthorne. They said it was too late to take him off the ballot, which is so stupid. Just reprint the ballots. They probably don't use paper ballots anyway, which we should use paper ballots across the board. What's next? Okay, so let's stay on that, the plan that the Republicans have to steal the election in 2024. This is a good thing about our group, is because we get information from each other, and then it helps us to follow the breadcrumbs and to find out where to go to be most effective, and to go there with our communications and all that. By the way, I'm going to record my little song that I sang the other night that I'm in my psychic brain, so I can't think of it right now, so that you can all learn it and sing it. But if you want to sing it, it's about our democracy. The beginning of my video from Wednesday night. That was a little crazy going live. I'll do it once in a while, but not too often. I don't think. We'll see. Speaking of videos, Corey's in Amsterdam. Send him good vibes. Maybe he'll call us from the tulip field. The GOP is installing Trump supporters in key offices, according, just about the, to submit alternate electors. Remember when Stephen Miller last year was talking about, oh, we're installing alternate electors, so Trump won. I'm telling you. Somebody on the news was saying we cannot afford to throw in the towel. We really have to keep our eye on what's going on here. We don't want to be Russia. 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 Okay, I'm done. Oklahoma passed two bounty hunter abortion bills. Bounty hunter abortion bills. Handmaid's Tale, even though I never watched it because I think it would be too terrifying for me to watch an episode of that. I must have had a past life or something. But, well, I had a past life, but sometimes I don't want to get triggered. So, Handmaid's Tale comes to mind. All of these heinous men that are taking away women's rights and ruining their lives, let's just be real, and making their lives hell. All these men are white, middle-aged or older, and just, I'm trying to be polite. The words are caught in my throat. You can just fill in the blanks. Heinous human beings. horrible human beings doing this to women. Stab to the heart. I told you all that there was going to be a period of time that was going to be exceedingly painful for this country as we see our rights being whacked away. But then I did get that we were going to come back. So be prepared for a time of a lot of emotional pain with taking away women's rights. It's happening in a lot of states. The Republicans we're in a civil war, and the Republicans are trying to replace democracy with autocracy. And it's going to be extremely painful as we see our rights being taken away. I don't mean to depress you. I do want to motivate you. There'll be a time of a lot of pain. There's a lot of guns in this country, and there's a lot of potential for violence. And to put people in a position of policing their fellow citizens is very terrifying. I do see the Queen of Pentacles is the Divine Mother. I mean, the divine feminine energy is going to help the women. That's what I have for you about that. So if we are standing up for our rights, we will have help. And we will have help from the females in the justice system, including female judges. But it won't be until we've had enough of the pain. And we've had enough of the really sad stories of girls, young women that were date raped, for instance, or sexually assaulted by a family member or a neighbor. It's going to be tough. Because they're already passing the laws, and they're passing because the Republicans have figured out the loopholes. Democracy is very delicate. It really is. So, what else? I think I'll just go to, I probably won't make this too long. I'm looking for some good news. I'm looking. Good news? Any good news? Well, we are going to see the January 6th committee will start broadcasting hearings on June 9th. I know you've heard that. Let's see how it's going to go. Let's pick a few cards about how it's going to go. I do want to tell everybody, and I will say this again and again. You know how I get. Any of you who have studied metaphysics like me, quantum physics, that kind of thing, for many years now, it's easy for us to forget when we're all caught up in this physical reality what we have energetically. So my guides have been really telling me and reminding me to use what we have energetically. So start visualizing the Democrats getting real tough and real strong, like Mallory McMorrow. I think I said her name wrong the other night. I think I said McMallow. That female, the woman, the Democrat that stood up against the QAnon conspiracy. I don't even know who the woman was that said all this heinous stuff about her being a groomer and a pedophile and all this ridiculousness when, nothing could be further from the truth. The Democrats do have to stand up, and that includes us and calling our representatives and congresspeople. I do feel like that if we visualize it and we know in our hearts that we can save our democracy, that has a big impact. So pass the word. Visualize the outcome that you want to see. That's the way it works. And feel it. Imagine us winning. Imagine other Democrats in office standing up and, really, really like all of them, just calling out these liars and scammers and control freaks and malignant narcissists and violence inciting, people in positions of leadership. Let's have the Democrats call them out completely. The Emperor We're going to go through a scare. We're going to go through a time that's scary. We're going to go through a time that's scary where it looks like the Republicans are going to win. I want better news than this. We'll get there. We'll get there. We've been through a lot. And we've made it through. We will make it through this. Let's see what's going on with Trump. I'm telling you, he has a plan. But I've never gotten that he's going to run for president. So, these kinds of things that we ask frequently. Is he going to run for president? No. He's not going to run for president. Is he being paid to promote people? I mean, look at J.D. Vance. He was a total never Trumper. In 2016, 17, even up to 2019, I think. And he's up in the polls. Is Trump the kingpin the mob boss, who's directing these corrupt people to rig the system? Is he directing them how to rig the system? No, I don't think he's smart enough to do that. I get the sense about Trump, he doesn't know what he's doing. He just wants to be on the stage and, getting all this applause and seeing all the flags, and unbelievable. All right, so let's see. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to be unseated? Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to be unseated? She's going to be unseated. Okay. Is Marcus Flowers going to win in Georgia? I get that Marcus Flowers is going to beat her. And let's look at what's going on with Trump right now with all these lawsuits. I do want to take a look at Bragg and what the hell is going on there. What a treasonous traitor. Okay, the Fool card is coming up around Trump. I feel like Letitia James is going to have a victory. Whoops, sorry about that. I feel like Letitia James is going to have a victory with Trump because Trump's playing a fool's game and trying to hold on to those documents. Okay, is he going to have to... I don't feel like those documents don't exist. He's actually trying to say they don't exist. Okay, let's see. The Eight of Cups. Well, this card keeps coming up around Trump because he's run out of options. The only thing that's kind of throwing me is that it feels like I just really get a strong sense of the system being all rigged up. So what you see is not really what is really going on. There's a lot of things being hidden from us. But the guides are just saying the January 6th committee will reveal it all. And then what we do with it is, is a thing. Let's look at Bragg. What's going on with Bragg? Why is he being so criminal? Is he going to be cited for that? Letitia James must be just kickboxing or something. The Queen of Pentacles is coming up again. Okay, this is Bragg. This is Bragg. He should have done his job. He should have done his job. That's Bragg. Letitia James has what she needs. Well, so what's going to happen to Bragg? I mean, there's a lot of swords coming at Bragg. I said, in the past, I said that I saw him hanging his head in shame. That's when I brought up the Bill Buckner story about the Red Sox losing the World Series a long time ago because he made a big mistake and he had to hang his head in shame the rest of his life. That's the kind of image I got about Bragg. Like, he really screwed up. But he did it on purpose. More about Bragg. Yeah. This is going to get broken up. What caused Bragg to not move forward with prosecuting Donald Trump it's going to be uncovered. The truth is going to be revealed about that. And the Page of Pentacles keeps coming up, which is representing female energy too. The Ten of Cups. There's actually a lot of evidence on Bragg now about what he's up to in terms of not moving forward with all the crimes that Trump has committed. And the Page of Pentacles keeps coming up. You know, this really is this is feeling like, it's feeling like a body of information that the Page of Pentacles is holding on to, that is sitting there not being revealed yet. All right, is it going to be revealed? Well, if it's a page, the page is offering the pentacles, the goods. Is it going to be revealed? I think Bragg is in for a rough ride. I really do. It's going to be revealed. Not right away. Okay, not right away. Is it going to be revealed to the public? Yeah. So, and that's about, you know, we will see the January 6th committee information. It's going to be, the guys are saying it's going to be long. I guess we're going to have a lot. We're going to see a lot. But as far as the Bragg thing goes, this feels like information that's being contained for the time being. Until, it's like it's a timing thing. It feels like it's going to come out at the right time. And the right time would mean when we can really do something with it. And I'm going to ask the pendulum, is this connected to the DOJ? Is the Page of Pentacles connected to the DOJ? Because that seems to be kind of a... Oh, okay. That seems to be a common denominator. Department of Justice is being, you know, pointed to here. Okay, well, let's do one more, and then I'll peek at Ukraine, but this is just, this war is dragging on and on and on and on and on. Is there going to be an end? I keep on getting in 4 to 5 weeks. Well, that was a couple weeks ago, though. Is there going to be an end? Putin is so sick. Well, okay, as far as Ukraine and what's going on there, so many war crimes, so many war crimes. And Putin has a weakness that we're not able to see, that he's hiding. I wonder if that has to do with his being very, very, very sick. The Justice card this is about Ukraine and what's going on there. The war crimes will be tried. Is Putin going to live? No. 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 I don't predict death, but I just thought I would just ask. Okay. He's making it look like he has something that he doesn't. Like that's an advantage. So just making us feel like, well, it might be the nuclear weapons thing, but the Justice card is coming for Putin, and I don't see him living long. That's what I have for you tonight. I really am concerned about our democracy. I'm not predicting we're going to lose it, but I am warning everybody. Get involved. grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. Type I in the subject line. if I can, I'll come back tomorrow evening because it is a solar eclipse new moon. And I'd like to ride the energy of that wave. And I'll do my very best to do a video tomorrow night. So stay tuned. Maybe it'll be live. All right. Thank you for all your support. If you want to book a reading, it's annettedionpsychic@gmail.com. If you'd like to just say hi, it's annettedion7@gmail.com. So I will see you soon, and namaste. And those of you that are coming to class tomorrow, I can't wait. Good night.